Well, today we are at BerleyPro headquarters here locally in Melbourne. Now, I've just picked up myself a brand new Hobie Outback, really cool looking one in this sunrise camo colour. And the Hobie Outbacks are arguably the most popular kayak in the world and certainly the most refined kayak within the Hobie range. Now, what's really cool about coming here today is that this is pretty much a blank canvas because I've picked it up and I've brought it straight down here. Now, BerleyPro specialise in making accessories for boating and kayaks, really looking at shortfalls with hundreds of hours on the water in how they can improve that user experience when you're on the water. So what we're going to do today is we're going to completely accessorise this Hobie Outback, a little bit of a bling my kayak kind of experience. And what we're going to do is walk you through installing a handful of different accessories that are going to give us better storage, capability and durability when you're at home and obviously when you're out in the water. So let's go through all of that right now. All right, so we've got a few accessories that we're going to install on this Outback, so I'll just run through those with you. So we've got the bumper bro, so that goes at the front of your kayak. That just gives you that added durability. As you'll know, it's very, very thin. It's a polyethylene material, and basically as you put your kayak down, they are prone to cracking and things like that. I've done that on my PA14, so a little thing like that can be a nice insurance policy. Then we've got the bottom drawer, so this basically slides now underneath your chair. One of the big differences if you've gone from a PA14 to an Outback is that lack of storage. So being able to put all of your terminal tackle straight under your chair, that's really, really helpful. We've got an upgraded aluminium rudder, so that's just going to give you added steering control. You're going to be able to cut through the water really nice and easily. We've got raised rudder steering, so one of the things you'll notice with the Outback is the rudder controls are flush on there, and sometimes just when you grab them, you don't get them properly. So these just elevate those, just give you a better experience on the water. And the other thing as well is this compartment here, which you can put your storage. We've got some upgraded plastic compartments there. It just makes that usable space a lot better when you're out on the water. So we're going to start with that. All right, so we'll just flip the kayak over and you'll see what we're going to install first is here. So we're going to do the bumper bro. So obviously there's the plastic there that just really protects this area. And the funny thing is, this kayak has never even been used and you can see it's already scratched up a little bit. So that's just how easily these things scratch up. All right, so we're going to go ahead and install the bumper bro now. Now, one thing that's really important is preparation. Simple things will make all the difference in terms of making sure that it's going to be sitting on there nice and proper and it's not going to come loose. So the very first thing that you want to do is you want to clean this surface really thoroughly, and we'd really recommend getting something like an Icy Pro alcohol clean and just give that a really nice wipe down, because even just some dirt and grime and old stuff that you might have on there will make a really big difference and stop it from, I guess, sticking and staying on there for a long time. Once that surface is nice and clean and ready to go, we're basically going to mark out where that's going to go, and there's a few things that we can do on that as well, but just take your time with this, get it 100% right. You can see now that is definitely good to go. Now, obviously these are a plastic mould, and what you're going to find there's always sometimes some imperfections in the way that the kayaks are designed in terms of the size and the moulding. So most of the times these are going to fit just by putting on there, but if you find that it's not 100%, what you can do is you can get something like a heat gun or a hairdryer or something and just warm it up and melt it a little bit, and that'll help to mould it around. So you'll see with this one here, that actually sits on there pretty good. So there's not much work that we need to do on this time around. And then all we're going to do is we're just going to get a grey lead and we're just going to mark basically where the start and the finish point of that is. So it gives us a bit of a starting guide. And then all we're going to use is some tape or some electrical duct tape and basically just stick that on. So to sticking it on, what you are going to need is just some marine goop. So that's probably the best thing. Make sure you're using the clear one as well. You don't want the white stuff because it'll look a bit ordinary if you do that. All right, so what we've done is we've just put some marine goop all the way, just on the top rim. That's all you're going to need to do. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put that and fasten it on there, and then quite quickly you want to get your electrical or duct tape and basically fasten that and then leave it for quite some time to dry and settle. So let's get that on now. And just carefully, you can see you've got your grey line outline there, so you're really trying to stick to that, just so that way you're not going to move it around once you put your marine goop on there. You can see that just sits there perfectly. we can see that's really fastened down now with the tape, and you can see that's right on the grey lines there as well. So that's going to go really, really good. A couple of things is you probably ideally want to let that dry for about 24 hours. And then once it does dry is you can just get some silicone and just run it all the way around the bumper bro. And what that's going to do, it's just going to stop any debris that you might get when you're out fishing on the water just from getting stuck in there. I think that's a really good thing to do.
Once you've applied the silicone, then just use your fingers just to smooth out the surface. That way it's a really nice clean finish. And also make sure that you've got some alcohol spray and a clean wipe on hand, just to make sure you're not going to get anything stuck on your hands. And what you'll end up with is a really nice clean finish that's ready to hit the water.
So now that we've got the bumper bro done, what we've done is we've flipped the kayak back onto its normal side, and the next 3 or 4 accessories that we're going to install is going to be in this upright position. So this is one of the jig buckets, and what this does is just upgrade your storage here on this side compartment. And I find like when you're storing a heap of soft plastics and some other terminal tackle, might be squid jigs, pliers, all that sort of stuff, it just gives you a bit more storage space. So these are very, very simple. You unscrew those and you can screw these in as well. Now they come with their own screws, or you can just use the same screws that you take out of that one there. So what we're going to do now is just need a Phillips head screwdriver, and we're just going to unscrew these. Just take your time. A lot of things with Hobies are very fiddly. If you've ever installed a sounder on your kayak and stuff, you'll know that it's very, very restricted space. So you just got to take your time when you're installing stuff. All right, the last screw, so 6 in total. And that just comes straight off there. All right, so this is the BerleyPro jig bucket there. So if we open that up, okay, and you're going to see exactly the same screw holes there as well. So very, very simple install. Just going to place that over the exact same spot and then just screw those in. Couldn't be much easier.
Now this is one of the easiest accessories that you'll ever install. Simply unscrew the 6 screws that are there, place on the new jig bucket, and then put the 6 screws back in, and that's it. You've upgraded your storage capability on the side compartments of your Outback. Now do this on both sides and you're good to go.
All right, so we're slowly getting through this now. So obviously we've got the bumper bro just to give us that bit of extra added durability. And we've obviously got now these plastic side pockets now for a little bit more storage. Now, as I said, one of the drawbacks with the Outback, and it is a great kayak, so I'm not having a go at it, is just the lack of storage. So that's where something like this becomes really important. So this is the bottom drawer, and what it does now, it gives you full storage completely under your chair, and that's basically just going to slide in and out there just like that. So you can keep all of your terminal tackle, might be soft plastics, your pliers, your scissors, all that sort of stuff straight under you. Nice, easy access without having to go to your front hatch to access, because that can be a little bit awkward at times. So very easy to install. You've got a couple of screws to fasten in place, and then the chair will actually sit on top of that.
Installing the bottom drawer is also a very easy installation. Simply remove the chair and you'll notice underneath that there's already pre-done screw threads there, and that makes the installation so easy. So all you need to do is remove the drawer, put it over the top of those screw threads, screw it into place, and then slide the drawer back in and you're good to go.
You can see we're going to fasten that, but basically you've got your drawer that you can slide in and out, and you're just going to fasten it down with the screws there, just like that. And then you can just load that up with terminal tackle, and that's going to be straight under your chair. Alright, so we've got that semi in place. We'll get the other one in place as well. Basic screws like that, that's all it's holding in place. And there's already threads there, so you can kind of just get them into place and semi-screw them in. So I'm going to line that one up there. And this one here. Alright, just done. There's your storage. Alright, so the other important thing to note with this install as well is it's not getting in the way of the things that you still need to access. So if you're going to install a sounder and you need to access the Guardian transducer shield, that way for your cabling and everything else, just slide this out, you can still access it all, and once you're done, bang, slide that back in place, and away you go.
And also remember to fold the clips in because the chair will need to sit flush on top of the frame of the bottom drawer, and that's how it comes together really nicely.
And then obviously you've got your clip here, just so that way if you're transporting around, your chair's not going to move around. Alright, so we'll move along now. So all coming together, so bumper bro, side compartments, obviously got our pull-out drawer now under the chair. Now we're going to do one of my favourite parts now, and this is the raised rudder steering. So one of my pet hates with the Outback is just that these sit so flush and low. And what you find is often you're so concentrating on the fishing that when you grab, sometimes you just miss grabbing the handle. So these now are going to be an elevated raised handle, which I just think just makes functionality so much easier. Now this will be one of the more fiddly jobs, and what we like to do is we like to do the rudder control steering here first before we upgrade the rudder, because that way you're going to be able to just take your time and actually just adjust the control settings. That way your rudder's sitting in the right position. So take your time with this. We're going to show you through step by step.
First, pop the small circle Hobie sticker off the rudder handle. Then grab a Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew the existing screw holding the rudder handle down. Now you'll notice this can be really locked in tight, so take your time to get this out. It's then a good idea to clean this area thoroughly, remove any dirt or debris, and then you will want to use the screw included with the kit, which already has some Loctite on it. Now you will notice there are two screws included in the kit, one for pre-2019 Outbacks and the other for the existing models of Outbacks. Then undo the existing knots in the cabling, which can be really fiddly. These are generally two loop knots over the top of each other, but take your time with this. Now carefully thread the liner through the pre-existing holes. Now this can be very fiddly to do, so take your time. And this acts as a pulley system where the rudder and the handles are responsible for turning as you're steering your way around.
So I just do a half hitch followed by another half hitch. So much easier. just do it double. So on this we do two different bushes.
Yep.
So that screw is for the old style. This one's for the new. So one's got a countersink in it and one's got the screw. But they don't make, like that's only like 2018 Outbacks or 2019, the first ones with that. So with that screw, and then they've changed to these. So these screws come with Loctite already on.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
So the key with this is just basically put it straight down, and then you always need to make sure the Loctite's cleaned out of the other hole first. Otherwise, you're just threading onto the other dust that's on the screw.
Yep.
And then we screw this down tight, and you can feel it. See how there's like play in it?
Yeah, still a bit of
Yeah. So you can do this so it's tight that it can't turn, which you don't want. You want it so it pulls up, so it's just gone tight. So see that now? So it's still easy to turn.
Okay,
It's like there's hardly any in there. And I'll just give it a little bit more, but I wouldn't do it up any tighter than that because I want it. Once you pull up on the cord at the back, this will then like slightly kick back up on an angle.
Up a bit, yeah, okay.
So then you don't have any of that play.
Okay,
if you go too tight, it's just too hard to turn your handles.
Yep.
And I'm gonna just pop that sticker back on top just to keep stuff out of the hole, and then that's it.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, so now it's time to remove the existing rudder, and you do this by simply untying the knot of the leader line that runs down, and then once you've got that undone, you then need to go above and undo the screw that's holding that into place. Then fit in the new rudder and repeat the exact same steps in reverse.
And then that has a counter. So the only thing really to check is to make sure these lines go back on. But see how it's got like the little slots in there.
Okay, yeah.
So they can't really fall off.
Okay,
and then this has got a massive amount of
excess
cable on this one, but that just tucks down. They just tuck them down in there anyway. And so even though that's not around there for some unknown reason. So let's put that on there. Then put this one up through there. And then just putting a screw in that's got Loctite on it. And same as like with the handles, like you want it so it's like that. You can turn it easy. There's a very little bit of play in it, like up and down. Because same once you pull the rudder, it's going to pull like the handle and the rudders are going to sort of like pull like that a little bit. So if you go hard down so it's flat, and then you go tight from that, it just gets way too tight to turn the steering. I just make sure these are straight.
Oh yeah.
And these have like a just a nut that's in behind this, so you just wrap that around there. It's pretty straight, is it? Yes. So we're just trying to make sure that the rudder's straight as well as they're straight.
Yep.
So and then just wrap it around the top there, do that screw back up. And then see how it's got that much play in it? This one goes on the other side, so like this side does that side and that side does this side. Feel that one? Is that better?
Pretty tight.
Yeah. Just do this other side a little bit. Pretty good. And the last part's just attaching the cord onto the rudder.
Yep.
So all we do is put it through that hole. And that's it.
And it's those 1%ers that make all the difference. So started off putting the bumper bro, that's given us that really added durability at the front, that way you're not going to scratch up your surface. You've got these jig buckets on the side, that way you've got some extra storage. You've got this slide out bottom drawer here, which is again some little bit of extra storage. And then what we've done is we've finished off by putting up the raised rudder steering and the improved rudder, which is bigger, and also the aluminium material. You put all those things together and what you got is a Hobie Outback here, which is going to have a pretty kick-ass experience when you're out in the water. Now obviously there's a few more things that I could do. We've got some aluminium railing that we could do. Obviously we're going to put on a sounder, and you know, those little things that when you get out in the water, it's going to be all about the fishing and enjoying your experience out in the water. Anyway guys, I hope they've enjoyed this, pimping a Hobie Outback here at BerleyPro, and we'll chat with you sometime soon.